What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Nonfia, and today I'm here in Lost Relics going over each NPC in Talmuth. If you haven't done so already, please check out my previous video where I give a tour of Inverdun. Without further ado, let's get right into it. The first NPC we'll be covering is Timberlord Thornsap. Timberlord is located right by the engineering bench in Talmuth, and there are two things you can do with him. One is you can get a Grin single malt whiskey aged 250 years, which is a rare blockchain whiskey. Now, the way you can get this whiskey is by submitting 1 cinder barley grains and 1 river pine. Now, the importance of this rare whiskey is that you can use this whiskey and redeem it for 1 Frostfall Siege key if you go to Inverdun. The second thing you can do is get a Thornsap coffer if you have 20 Leafsong Resin. The way you get Leafsong Resins are by killing resource monsters from woodcutting, and I'll show you what that looks like in the next clip. Alright, now if you're taking a look at this GIF or GIF, however you pronounce it, I'm attempting to take down this common tree node, but when I do so, rather than getting a resource from the tree node, out pops out Maplethorn. Maplethorn is the wood-cutting tree monster that can possibly spawn from a tree node. It's not guaranteed, but there's a possibility. Now, if Maplethorn pops out and you kill him, there's a chance that he can drop Leafsong Resin. If you collect 20 Leafsong Resin, you can go to Timberlord and turn it in for a Thornsap coffer. Now, if you want to check out what a Thornsap coffer can contain, I encourage you to check it out in the encyclopedia. The next NPC I want to talk about is Viola Nightbloom. Viola is located right by the well in Talmuth. Now, when I hit interact, there's 4 different things I can do with her. The first thing is getting the Greater Tome of Combat. The Greater Tome of Combat is obtained when you turn in 10 Malignant Cores. Malignant Cores are obtained as a potential drop from Guardians that you kill within Lost Relics dungeons. Do note that Guardians only spawn from Epic tier dungeons and higher, up to Transcendent. Now, the other 3 things I can do are obtaining 5% character experience, gathering experience, or production experience. Now, the way these buffs work are they're a global buff that applies to everyone playing the game at the time the buff is dropped. So, for example, let's say I wanted to drop a 5% character experience buff. This buff costs 100 Lenari, and I can drop this, and not only will I receive 5% character experience buff, but everyone that's playing the game at the same time that I drop the buff will have it for 30 minutes. Now, do note that these buffs are stackable, by the way. So if you're doing 30 minutes of adventures, you can pop a 5% character experience buff and a 5% gathering experience buff. Once the buff wears out, you can reapply the buff if you wish to do so. The next NPC I want to talk about is Salvage Captain Wren. When I interact with the captain, you can notice that there's 2 different things that you can do with them. One being that you can turn in an Ardain Blue Blossom, which is an uncommon blockchain item obtained through scavenging. And once you turn this item in, you can get 20 Ancient Flasks. Ancient Flasks are used within alchemy to craft the higher tiered potions such as Mythic and Transcendent. The second thing you can do is you can turn in 20 Arachnodon Fangs to obtain a Wren's Trove. In the next clip, I'll show you how you can obtain Arachnodon Fangs. Similar to the previous gift that you saw, when I go to scavenge this node, instead of getting potential resources, I get Arachnodon. Now, Arachnodon, similar to Maplethorn, has a chance of dropping Arachnodon's Fang, and once you get 20, you're able to turn it in for Wren's Trove. The next NPC I want to talk about is Quarrymaster Grimstone. Quarrymaster is located right by the forging station in Talmuth. When I hit interact, you can see that there's 2 different things I can do with him. First being that you can get Frostbound Geodes by turning in Cerium Ore, which is an epic blockchain item that you can get from mining. Frostbound Geodes can be redeemed in Inverdun to get 2 Frostfall Siege keys for when you wish to play Frostfall Siege. The second thing you can do is you can get 20 Stoneheart Shards and get a Grimstone Cache. In the next video, I'll show you how you can get these Stoneheart Shards. Similar to the other 2 gifts, when I attempt to mine this rock, you'll see that out comes Boulder Fist. Boulder Fist is the rock monster that has the chance to drop Stoneheart Shards. Stoneheart Shards, again, are used to get the Grimstone caches from Quarrymaster Grimstone over at the forging station. The next NPC I want to talk about is Fisherking Nautica. Fisherking is located right by the cooking station in Talmuth. Now, when I hit interact, there's 2 different things I can do with them. One being that I can turn in a Brim Shell for a Brim Pearl and 10,000 gold. Brim Pearls currently are being used at the gem disaggregator to get between 18 and 22 shattered gems. The second thing I can do is get a Nautica Strongbox by getting 20 Croakreaver Fins. In the next clip, I'll show you how you can get these Croakreaver Fins. Similar to the other gifts, you can see here I'm fishing this uncommon node and out pops out Croakreaver. Croakreaver has the chance to drop Croakreaver's Fin. Once you collect 20 Croakreaver's Fin, you're able to turn it into Fisherking Nautica for a Nautica Strongbox. The next NPC I want to talk about is Gabriele. If you saw my previous video where I did a tour of Talmuth, then you know what Gabriele does. But if you didn't, well, Gabriele is located right outside the adventure pass for when you're doing your Lost Relics adventures. When you interact with Gabriele, you can see that there's only one function that she has, and that's taking items from your inventory and directly moving it to your stash for a small deposit fee per item. The max that you can be charged is 40 gold if you have a full inventory. Now this is pretty convenient for players who are looking to do dungeons back and forth. But if you have Lost Relics housing, then you can skip Gabriele and just go directly to your stash and deposit items over there. The next set of NPCs I want to talk about are inside the Royal Emporium. There's a total of 4 NPCs that you can interact with inside the Royal Emporium. The first one being Oliver. Oliver is the NPC you'll speak with for when you want to buy and sell virtual and or blockchain items with other players inside the game. The second NPC I want to talk about is the Gold Merchant. The Gold Merchant is located right here. And when you speak with him, you can turn gold dust that you can farm from rare mining nodes to small coin pouches. The small coin pouches can contain between 800 to 1200 gold. The next NPC I want to talk about is Edmund Ironhand, who allows you to take various tomes and convert them to the tome of your choice. So for example, let's say I had a tome of mining that I wanted to convert into a tome of fishing. Well, I can do that by spending 500 gold and turning in my tome of mining to get a tome of fishing to increase my fishing experience. The last NPC I want to talk about is Lavina Dawnlight. Lavina has 2 blockchain items that you can potentially get from her by turning in various virtual pieces to making a certain item. So in this case, if you wanted to get an Abyssal Dominator, which is a blockchain item of mythic tier, then you would have to turn in a Deepwater Pearl, a Luminous Coral Shard, a Mystic Kraken Ink, and a Leviathan Scale. The next item that you can get from Lavina is as a legendary Titan Takedown. The Titan Takedown you can get by turning in a Celestial Alloy Ingot, the Guardian's Essence Shard, and the Guardian's Runestone. Now I'll talk about the NPCs within the Tavern. Finally, we're here at our last set of NPCs. There's 3 NPCs in the Tavern on the first floor and 1 on the second floor. So let's get right into it. The first NPC is the Raffle NPC. Every 2 days, there's a raffle that's drawn for these unique prizes where you can spend up to 10,000 gold for 10 raffle tickets. It's not mandatory you enter the raffle, but it's more so for the fun of it and if you think you have a chance at obtaining one of these prizes. The second NPC we'll be talking about is Baranon, who's an NPC where you can turn in bounty bucks or bounty scrolls for unique items such as Invicticus Insignias, Frostfall Siege Keys, a Void Goat, Deep Sea Coffer, or various potions. The last NPC on the first floor is Seraphina. Seraphina has items that you can use to improve your skills, such as flasks and vials to improve your alchemy, ceramic jugs to fill up water that's used for cooking / engineering, white feathers that are used for engineering, flask of mead that's used in alchemy and cooking, and then the Holy Grail Ale, which is a consumable that you can use within adventures. The last NPC is located upstairs, and that NPC is the NPC you speak with for when you want to play the Dreamscape gameplay mode. Dreamscape is a unique gameplay mode where players can test various builds without the ramifications of worrying about dying in a dungeon. This is, think of it like a test adventure. You can set the adventure how you'd like based on difficulty, the generation seed, theme, time of day, the weather, and you can add whichever monsters you want. This is for players who like to test out certain builds, such as a glass cannon build if you're looking to test that out, a melee build, a tank build, a caster build, a ranged build, whatever type of build you're looking for. The way to do that is by entering Dreamscape by talking to the Dreamscape Mancer. That's all I have for you in this video today, so I just want to say thank you so much for checking out my YouTube video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe. And please be sure to check me out on Twitch as I love to live stream Lost Relics. Thanks so much and have a great rest of your day.